Hello and welcome to part 2 of the UAP customer webinar series. Today's session is about hardware for uPVC doors. So here we have a lock, which is a mechanism for keeping the door locked. This image is of a single point lock. Multi-point locks, sometimes known as an espag or an espagnolet, is a mechanism for keeping multi-points along the frame and making it more secure. It has a locking point, which is part of the lock that secures the door to the frame. We'll look at these in detail in part 3 of the uPVC webinar series. So here we have an image of the hinge, and we're going to talk about a hinge and a hinge protector. So the hinge is a movable joint or mechanism on which a door swings, allowing it to open and close. And the hinge protector, sometimes known as a dog bolt, provides additional security to the hinge side of a door leaf, slotting into the frame as the door closes. In the event of an attack, this would hold that hinged side of the door securely in place. Hinges, there are varying types of hinges that can be used with uPVC doors. There are two most common types, butt hinges and adjustable hinges. Butt hinges are generally non-adjustable. And the most common type of hinge for a uPVC door is an adjustable hinge. You can adjust for compression. This allows for movement away from or closer to the frame seal. A vertical adjustment to raise or lower the door leaf, and a lateral adjustment which allows for a horizontal movement of the door leaf in the frame. So the keep or receiver, sometimes known as the receiver, this is the part fitted to the door frame that receives or keeps the locking point within the frame. And there can be a bucket or pocket, and this is a device that is attached to the keep that encloses that locking point, or a security plate, which is an additional device added to keep further restrict the movement during an attack. It also provides additional strength and security to that keep. This image is of the latch, which is part of the door lock that secures the door in a closed position, but it's not necessarily locked. So some images here of a cylinder and a cylinder with a guard. So the cylinder is what many people refer to as a lock, sometimes a barrel within their door, but it's the device in which you insert your key. It's primarily a locking medium to operate a lock case with something like a euro-shaped hole. And the cylinder guard is an additional device, as you can see in image on the right, is an additional device that wraps around the cylinder to provide additional protection against attack. The bolt and hook, so there's two options on the screen. The bolt on the left-hand side is a locking point that extends from the door into the frame to hold it closed. And the hook is the locking point that extends from the door into the frame and holds it closed also, but it differs from the bolt because it's hook-shaped rather than being straight. So a roller is a device that provides compression, enables the door to fit very tightly to the frame, sometimes wrongly referred to as a locking point. It can be an anti-lift device, so a security device that prevents the patio door from being lifted upwards and off the track. And a mushroom is similar to a roller, but without the facility to be adjusted. So a shoot bolt, it's a locking device that extends or shoots vertically into the head and the sill or the threshold of a door. So here we've got some images of a letter plate, most commonly known as a letterbox, which is a device through which mail is posted. Consists of a rectangular aperture covered by a flap or flaps, and it's fitted through the door leaf. UAP have quite a range of letter plates, including the Framemaster, the Soterian TSW8 Slim, or the Standard, an I-plate Standard and Slim. This is a restrictor, or a stay, and it's a device fitted to the top of a door to prevent it from opening beyond a certain degree. They're usually used to prevent the door being damaged by impact in the building. So this is a door closer, an overhead door closer actually in this image, which is a mechanical device that closes the door in a controlled manner preventing it from slamming in general after somebody has opened it. You can get integral door closers as well as overhead door closers, but this image shows an overhead. So this is an interlock, which is a device used to engage locking points between a sliding pane and the fixed pane of a patio door. So a uPVC patio door. The intersection between that sliding and fixed panes of the patio door is very vulnerable to attack by intruders. So this interlock is a means of securing those two pieces together. So an eye viewer, a spy hole or a door viewer is a small opening through a door to allow the viewer to look from inside to the outside. So in a door, it's usually put into front doors or maybe apartment doors, hotel room doors. This enables the occupant to see who's outside on your doorstep or outside the door without actually opening the door for security. This image is an exception, which is a protective or ornamental plate, which can be used around a keyhole or a handle. And this is a sash jammer, so very commonly used as an additional security measure for a uPVC door or a uPVC window actually, and it helps prevent that door or window from opening should the lock be bypassed by an intruder. So we're going to finish up this particular webinar with some information on handles. So the handle is a device fitted to the door to allow opening and closing and operating of the locking mechanism. And a spindle is an element fitted, a square metal bar that passes through the door, connecting the handles together. So connecting that internal and external handle to help operate the locking mechanism. So thank you very much for watching part 2. In part 3, we'll have a look at uPVC door locks. Thanks again for watching.